It was supposed to be a family dinner, but halfway through dessert, my parents leaned back, exchanged a glance, and dropped it like it was casual conversation. "We've decided," my father said, cutting his pie, "your inheritance will be redirected to pay off your brother's debts. It's only right." My mother nodded, as if balancing their son's recklessness on my shoulders was fair, natural, inevitable. I didn't argue. I didn't even blink. I let them talk. Because what they didn't know, what they could never undo, was that every cent was already gone, tucked away in a trust so locked down they couldn't even breathe near it. Zero access granted. My brother was always the chosen one, the golden child who could do no wrong. When he flunked out of school, it was bad luck. When he wrecked cars, it was boys being boys. When he borrowed money he never returned, it was, he'll figure it out. And me? I was the reliable one. Quiet, steady, the child they could count on, which really meant the one they could use. I learned early not to expect applause, but I didn't expect betrayal either. Not until I overheard my mother whisper once, "She doesn't need as much. She's fine on her own. Better we take care of him." That's when the ground shifted. That's when I stopped being their daughter in my head, started being their insurance policy. I paid attention after that, small clues stacking up. My father making calls about my assets, as if they were his to discuss. My mother asking me to sign vague family paperwork. The final crack came one evening, when I stumbled on my brother's message thread. He was laughing about it. "Don't worry, Mom and Dad will cover it. They'll use her share. She'll never say no." That was the night I stopped being quiet. I didn't confront them. I didn't shout or cry. I made a plan. Revenge wasn't about taking anything from them. It was about denying them. I contacted a lawyer. Discreet, ruthless. Together, we structured everything into a trust fund. Airtight, irrevocable, untouchable. Assets, properties, investments, every thread tied up so tightly that even if my parents tried, they couldn't pry a single stitch loose. The trustee wasn't family, not someone they could manipulate with guilt. It was a firm, professional, paid to follow rules, not feelings. I signed the last document with steady hands. Relief washed over me like cold steel. From that moment on, my inheritance wasn't theirs to decide. It was mine, forever sealed. So when they called the family meeting, I was ready. We sat in the living room, plates clinking, my brother smirking like he already held the keys to my future. My mother started explaining how it was temporary, how I'd understand once I had children of my own. I nodded. I let them explain how my sacrifice would keep the family name intact. I let my brother joke about owing me one. Inside, I was calm, detached, like watching actors stumble through a play whose ending I already knew. They thought they were delivering news. In reality, they were confessing. I waited until they'd said everything, until my father leaned back with that final tone of authority and said, "So it's settled." Then I smiled. "No," I said quietly. 3 heads snapped toward me. Confusion? Annoyance? "What do you mean, no?" my mother asked. I leaned forward, rested my elbows on the table. "Every asset you think you control," I said, "has already been moved. Months ago. Into a trust. Ironclad. You can't touch it. Not for his debts, not for anything." My brother scoffed, tried to laugh it off. "That's not how it works." "It's exactly how it works," I cut in. "Ask any lawyer. You're broke. He's broke. And I'm untouchable." The silence that followed was heavy, delicious. My father's face darkened. My mother's lips parted in shock. My brother went pale, finally understanding that his safety net had been shredded while he wasn't looking. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't gloat. I just let the truth suffocate them. Zero access. They left soon after. No hugs, no goodbyes.
My brother slammed the door on his way out. My mother muttered about betrayal. My father didn't look at me at all. When the house went quiet again, I poured myself a drink and sat in the silence they left behind. For years, they treated me like a resource, something to drain when convenient. They thought my silence was weakness. But silence isn't weakness, it's patience. And patience, when timed right, is power. Now they know. Not a single cent, not a single inch. Zero access granted.